Hello, Pony. Today I'm going to be talking about my story as a shadow. And I know what you're thinking. Well, her eyes have no color. Her horn's weird. Her wings are weird. That's 'cause I'm a shadow. But I'm a freed shadow. Of course, normal shadows have to look completely black and they look exactly like you. My main are like my shadow person, I guess. Well, who I was a shadow for. But the rest of me is just how I am. And I really have to thank the person who let me free. Or Pony in your case, or in my case. It matters which way you want to take this story. So let's get started, shall we? Once upon a time, there's a pony named Belrose. Belrose was a very nice pony. She was a filly at this time, and her parents were always so kind to her. But kids, not so much. They bullied her because she was kind, a really kind-hearted filly. They wanted to, well, bring her kindness down, I would say, but that didn't get to her. She stayed the way she was and she ignored everyone. But that didn't mean she didn't hear them. She definitely did hear them. And those words did hurt. They hurt so much she literally cried for days, almost. I tried to help her, but when you're a shadow, there's really nothing you can do except protect her in other ways. I made sure she was safe by, well, you can see someone coming towards you from far away because you see their shadow. Shadows know everything about you and they try their best to help you, even your reflections. Shadows are technically your reflection. I know what you're thinking. Well, shadows are just the light not being able to cross over. Or something like that. But what do you think lives there? There's always a creature that can live anywhere, and there's a creature living in the shadows that protects you, that tells you when harm's coming, that makes sure that everything that you know is there. Little fillies tend to be scared of statues that have shadows or trees that have shadows. When they move in the wind, they always think, ah! Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a monster, it's gonna eat me, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die! To be honest, that's really offensive to a lot of shadows. Sometimes we are forced to move that way because what owns us moves like that. Yes, I know, okay? It's weird, but us shadows can't interact with our friends or our parents or siblings or anything. You see, we are separated into many different trees and different families. We take form of shadows that belong to many different ponies. We don't choose. And the cycle is pretty whacked up. Only if your pony talks to that other pony that you may know, you're able to talk to them. But you can only say what your pony's saying. And you can only do what your pony's doing. You're restricted to be doing whatever your pony's doing. And sometimes we deeply do not want to do these things, but we have to do them. We are basically guardians of your souls, but you will live a more freer life than we do. You see, this is our cycle. Get your popcorn and get ready to listen. Okay, so this is how it goes. You are a shadow, okay? And you belong to this one pony. Once they die, then you go to another pony that just was born. That's how it works. And what happens is you can actually let yourself free, okay? So this is how it works. It's hard to put this into words, but basically, if you know your soul exists and you know that it's there, you're able to interact with your shadow, do all these things, talk to it, gives you advice, all that fun and amazing stuff. but you can let it free. And when you let it free, you are now a shadowless pony, meaning you're in greater danger, and you are about 50, at least 50% more harmed by everything that is around you. Mostly you will die, but sometimes you're safe. But when shadows are free, they can do whatever they want. They can be a pony of themselves. They can eat food, they can buy stuff, they can talk and interact with their own families. They can start a whole shadow pony revolution. But of course, that'll never happen. I mean, no one knows about the shadows. No one cares to think. And it's honestly very sad. I mean, sometimes you just want to scream in your pony's ear, I am here! Let me free! No matter how hard we try, we just can't. There's also retiring for ponies. When you retire, what happens is you go back to the Shadow Pony world and you can choose to be a shadow again, or you can just turn into a spirit and be reborn as a pony. Some people like being shadows. Others don't, so they become a pony. If your pony dies without a shadow, then they become a shadow when they die. Now you're probably wondering, how are there millions and millions of shadow ponies when no one knows? Just like how? Okay, so it has to do with the war between Celestia and Luna. As you can tell, I'm actually in their castle because this is the only place I'm safe. At the moment, at least. Anyway, so what happened was Luna created a whole shadow army, and she made it this way, but very few shadows wanted to dishonor Luna and become ponies, so that's why there's millions of shadows that now belong to ponies, and ponies became less endangered because of Luna. And because of Luna, we are here, and it's amazing. We're able to protect many ponies and have this whole colony, but no ponies can interact with us. This was going to change, but Luna got stuck in the moon for about thousands of years, and I don't think she would remember us, but she does. All shadows are thousands and thousands of years old. They probably knew you in past life. But shadows, they know everything about their ponies, and they'll always remember all the ponies that they took care of. It was very aware that we weren't going to be able to go into the real world, and all shadow ponies were aware of that. But they weren't aware of Belrose. And now I'm going to tell you about my story. So Belrose is bullied, but she has the perfect life. She always taking everything for account, always talking to herself, but there's a difference between talking to yourself, talking to your reflection, and talking to a shadow. Sometimes you'd be talking to your reflection and being like, oh my gosh, I look so beautiful. But you're not talking to us directly. There is a huge difference. And no one can say that they were like, oh, I talked to my shadow before, it didn't work. There's a difference. A really big difference. Your shadow can choose to talk to you or not. And sometimes, and most of the time, they decide not to. Because they're afraid of what's going to happen when you get into the real world. Belrose was talking to me, and I was not afraid to talk to her. I talked to her everything about my entire life, about the shadow colony. She knew. And how she talked to me? She had an imaginary friend. It was her shadow. And that was me. I know. It's like cheating. Don't worry. But if I can be honest, I was not scared at all. It was great. I'm the first ever shadow pony to ever be noticed. And that is huge. My pony talked to me and she said she will free me. But this took a very long time for her to adapt to. The story is not like you think it is. I'm going to start off from scratch, but here is the summary even before it started. I know that I am the first ever shadow pony, but there was ups and downs. And remember before when I said that, well, um, well, I said that this was the only place I was safe. That's because, well, um, 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 okay, I'll tell you why. I'm being hunted. That's right, I'm being hunted. No, it's not funny. Luna's trying to find me to figure out how I did this. She's probably gonna put me in a cage, and so is Celestia, and then Twilight's gonna have to come in, and then Cadence, and then the whole main six. Figure out how I did this, talking about my whole life, because blah 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 blah. Just blah 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 blah. It's not funny, okay? It's not funny. I'm being hunted, basically, and they know that I'm here. I only have so little to talk, but I promise I'll mention my whole story once I run away. And you're about to watch me run away. Poof! Now I'm the magical princess of the shadows, and now I can run away. But you didn't see that coming. Are you ready, my fellow ponies? Let's do this. Yeah! Woohoo! Get ready for the big jump. Woo! Woo! I just flew out of this castle, and I'm going to my homeland. Almost there. Woo! Oof. Glad that's done with. Finally escaped them. I bet they're still looking through the castle. I escaped just in time. Just in time to end this episode. I really, honestly hope you all enjoyed this video. And I will be talking more about Belrose in my life and how I became a real shadow pony. And I'll definitely show you more of my adventures in escaping Luna and Celestia. And I really honestly hope that you enjoyed this. I know I said that like 2 times, but it just means so much to me to finally tell people this story. I feel like it's been so long, but I'm ready to tell my story, and I'm so excited to tell you guys in the next chapter. Now remember, be nice to your shadows and be nice with everyone. Take into account that other people or other ponies are definitely going to be watching you, and knowing what you're doing is better. Now I must go and fly away because I'm pretty sure Luna and Celestia noticed, and I know I'm a super fast flyer. Oh yeah, but that's not the point. They can still fly fast and still do magic, unlike my demon shadow magic, but they can still do magic. Well, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'm off to fly to Ponyville. Woo! Almost there. Finally. Hope no pony's noticing, and I'm up. Goodbye, my little ponies. See you all next time. You'll never catch me now, Celestia!